button.
Oh,
What are you saying? Okay. We're gonna hit the guys. Hi guys. It's Saturday, April 3rd. Raging. What were you saying?
I wasn't saying anything.
Gonna talk about some embarrassing stuff. No, I'm really not embarrassed by anything unless you guys caught me, like, I don't know, picking my nose or something,
Oh, thank God.
I'm trying to be PG.
Why'd you throw up the mature?
Because
Okay.
it's there. Because I'm going to cuss. The F word is going to pop out of my mouth at some point. Who knows? Hey, Jody. Thank
Hi,
you for
Jody.
tuning in. So this is Easter weekend, and I'm like, I've got nothing really planned except for website, writing, editing,
Well, you're
and
the holiday hater, so
sending out a PDF. Oh gosh, so much to do. Is that a Korean cuisine? LOL, because my inner Filipino just threw up. Oh, about what?
what is he talking about?
I don't know. Is he talking about our crickets and our?
Oh, I don't know. That was my joke. Cause like either she's gonna hate me or be like, just like Grandma used to make.
Hey,
She'll probably
you know
eat them
what?
with chopsticks too.
I
Like,
have
she doesn't want to touch
memories.
them.
I have memories of when my father was stationed in Korea. I must have been like 4 or something, 4, 5-ish.
Mhm.
And sitting around the table, and I think it was a coffee table. And so we're like on the floor with the coffee table, and there's all the food in the center. And you think the squid was an issue. Wait until you saw the octopus, and it was still slimy, but it was spicy.
I hate you.
So, the nose picking, is that what the Korean cuisine? Hey, if it's coming out my nose, technically,
please don't pick
it's
your
half
nose with
Korean.
chopsticks. All right.
So yeah, octopus. Can you imagine the tentacles? Chewing on that, it's like rubber. I really don't have anything going on.
I do.
I have no package reveal. Oh,
I do. I have something I want to talk about.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't even really know how to talk about it. But I figure it's the perfect time because it's Autism Awareness Month.
Yes.
I want to talk about being an adult with Asperger's and okay, because people have asked me in my inbox before, why were you so nervous? Why were you fidgeting? Why were you bouncing, or what's wrong? And I just want to put it out there that having Asperger's, my facial expressions do not always reflect the emotion that I am feeling, because for one, I don't always know how to appropriately express those emotions. And for two, just sometimes I have tics. Like, that is why I am like this sometimes. I'm not stressed out. I'm not getting ready to fight.
Your fingers kind of going.
Yeah, I'm trying to get better about that, where I try to keep my fidgeting down, but like I will bounce, I will move around. I do that. It's just part of who I am. Like, somebody was like, well, what's up with this? And I'm like, what's up with that is I am trying to balance myself. It's a sensory issue.
Because if you go through the sensory overload or something like that, you need some way to express that.
Mhm.
Otherwise, imagine a kid with autism who has sensory overload and starts to have a tantrum. As an adult, that is not acceptable. I mean, even in children, a lot of times we don't accept that. I've been a lot more forgiving since I grew up with being an Aspie. Okay, so I'm a higher functioning Aspie. But I mean, I sit here, you don't see my fidgeting underneath. My toe is always tapping. I've got a pencil in between my thumb right now that I roll back and forth as a way, and I dig in, and it's a way to just say, okay, there's something else here. There's something else here. because there are a lot of other things that are going on in my brain. So
Right.
I don't do the rocking like I used to, but I do fidget. I'll take a pen and I'll just, like this all the time, or
Right.
something else is moving besides me, and that helps me stay calm on the outside. So
Right.
yeah, I totally
Like
get that.
I just because this I've had people asking me in my inbox, well, what was wrong? And it's like it doesn't necessarily mean anything is wrong.
Hmm.
Um, I'm working on myself. I'm trying to change
Hmm.
certain things. Uh,
And a lot of that is not, it's not even about change. It's learning how to make your body say, express what you're feeling on the inside too. A
right.
perfect example is for me when my husband and I had a deli, or even anytime I had to be in front of people in retail, especially retail. You have a smile on your face. Now, smiling is not natural for me.
No,
I have to think about smiling,
it
because
hurts.
if I
Sometimes
have
it
to
does.
if I have to be in front of people and it's just like, okay, Meredith, fix your face. It's not about necessarily putting on makeup. It's about saying, okay, you have to look pleasant. And when I was much younger, I would have to practice, like, what does a smile look like? What does a friendly smile look like? And so I would be in front of the mirror and I'd be like, okay, crinkle up your eyes, smile. Oh, you got a little dimple. Okay, that people think dimples are nice. So you'd sit there and you'd smile and it's like, hey, and it's like, okay, well, the trick is also to make sure that your eyes reflect the smile, so that it feels genuine. And whether or not, for me, a lot of times there's that disconnect, right? I can't associate it, and it doesn't reflect always in my face. So, but if I can say, okay, I'm feeling this and I really want to please you because you are my customer. I want to make sure that I'm doing this well and that you feel comfortable. My face has to reflect that, even though I might not. So it's like that crinkle in the eye, the dimple in the cheek, and learning where the corners of my mouth need to be to reflect that. And a lot of times it's genuine, but most of the time, especially when you're
It's
tired,
genuine because I'm putting the effort into it
you're putting effort.
to be genuine.
Right. And then there are times when, I mean, and going back to when we had the deli or the restaurant or just anything in retail, it's like after everybody's gone, I have to tell myself, okay, face, relax. And I could feel it just
I
kind of
know,
going, oh, and
and
it
it's
feels,
awful.
and it
It
hurts.
hurts.
It hurts because it's almost like that cramp. If you've been standing for a certain amount of, in a certain way for a certain amount of time, and then you move, it's like, oh, you know
Well, and something else I kind of wanted to bring up because it's kind of hitting. I don't want to say home necessarily right now, but with people is when we're having a conversation and you're talking about yourself, not necessarily you, but anyone. Um, and I say something about myself to try to relate. It's not that I'm trying to shift the focus off of you because it is about you, but I'm trying to show you that I can relate and that's how I rationalize and empathize with you because I have that myself. It's not like I'm trying to, I hate it because people will take it like you're trying to shift the focus to yourself. And I'm really not.
hmm
It's completely unintentional. I don't mean it that way. And I've been trying to make a conscious effort not to do that, but it's just so natural that I do it a lot.
hmm
So communication is still a major issue.
hmm That's something that I had to learn, and it's kind of funny too because I think associating the things that we know to the things that we don't know helps us in a lot of ways, but it also may prevent us from doing other things. And this is like kind of an extreme example, but I'm going to say it anyway. So I've been on like roller coaster rides and motorcycle rides and stuff, and I felt the pressure where my face was kind of like, it felt like the skin of my face was pushed back because of the pressure and the wind, and just feeling my hair whipping and things like that, and
Yeah.
all of those things, right? So my sister has had an addiction of jumping out of airplanes. She loves to go parachuting or whatever. And I think that's friggin' insane. And I saw a video and their faces were back this and they were laughing and they're like, ah, like that. And you could see the wind just flapping their clothes and stuff. And I was like, I'm good. I never have to do that. And she's like, why? You don't understand the feeling of that. I'm like, I can in a way because of these other things that I've done that have felt that pressure, whether it's, like I said, a roller coaster or being in those stupid rotors at a fair, and just feeling that pressure and the wind whipping and stuff like that. I'm like, I'm good. I just don't need to be falling out of the sky to feel that. But that doesn't mean I feel less exhilarated. I'd just rather sit in the plane than jump out of one.
Right.
And she didn't quite understand that. And it wasn't because I lack adventure or anything. I probably might do that one day. Um, but it's not on my list of things to do because I'm associating all of those things that are similar. And I'm like, and I felt that like watching the video and I could feel all of those things.
Right.
And I'm going, yeah, okay, that was kind of cool, taking my breath away and stuff and feeling that. And it felt to me like a full immersion experience, even though it wasn't me.
Right.
And so I don't feel the need. And it's just the same. Well, here I am stuttering. It's the same thing, kind of going out into the world, because of my experiences and the depth of how I feel. When I see expressions now, and it's been a lifelong lesson in sitting and observing people. What are the social cues? Because if I get on a topic that I absolutely love, I can talk
Yeah.
for hours and hours and hours, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
But the person standing across from me who's listening, that might not be a topic of interest to them. And so if they're leaning back, if they're looking at their watch, if they're turning sideways like this, these are all things that I had to learn to go, all right, Meredith, shut the hell up so that they can go.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, like literally, and it feels like my mouth is a runaway train and my brain's going, stop, just stop.
Yeah.
And so I've learned to say, hey, I could talk about this for hours, which is the truth, but I know that you've probably got stuff to do. They're out. And I'm like, run before I keep talking. I mean, that's the cue. But yeah, I mean, those are all things. I mean, still to this day, I'm better. People don't realize that I'm an Aspie because I've assimilated, but that doesn't mean I'm cured. Okay, there is no cure. It's just a matter of learning those coping mechanisms so that we can get through the day.
In my case, I don't think people think that I am either. But I come off differently than you. You have a calm that I don't have. I don't have your calm. You ground me. Like you can help me balance sometimes, but I worry all the time that I am coming off as incompetent or not paying attention, or when it's not the case. I'm taking it in. I'm physically feeling things that you can't even see. It's all there, and I'm connected. I'm just not connected in the way that other people feel I should be connected. But to me, I'm there and I'm on that same level. I just have a different way of coming about it. And yes, sometimes I will blurt out stuff that's probably inappropriate because that filter won't does not catch everything. It doesn't. It does. I try. I'm working on it. I'm not meaning to be offensive unless I'm meaning to be offensive. And I'll usually tell you if I'm meaning to be offensive.
Mhm.
But sometimes I forget to tell you if I'm not trying to be offensive. Like it's complicated, and I don't know, for somebody who sits there and has this attitude of all the time, I don't need to explain myself to you. Today I felt like I needed to explain myself
Mhm.
because I feel like I've been misread by people. I feel
Mm.
like some people might even think I'm stupid, or undereducated, or for mentally retarded.
Yeah,
And
which
and
is totally not fair.
it, and I'm not. I'm there. I can read on your level, write on your level. I mean, even speak if I want to, if I try, if I focus. I
Mhm.
just, and it's just because of certain messages and things that have been going on in my personal life that I felt like I want to convey what's really going on with me. And I'm having a hard time doing that. And even still, like right now, I'm having a hard time doing it. I've been on a sensory overload for weeks right now.
Mhm.
Um, and
What we went through a hell of a lot of stuff. A hell of a lot of stuff. I mean, like I'm doing, like, I did back to back Kickstarters, which is stressful enough. Anybody who's done Kickstarters, I am trying to deliver on a project that is late right now, and I am sick about it. I feel it in my back every single day. And then on top of it, throw in, hey, let's go house hunting because we have to move. Like, I don't have a choice. I have to move. So that now, hurry up and wait, waiting on a closing date so I can move, so that I'm not getting
I would
evicted
die in your position
and
right
and
now.
stuff like that. And then it's like, okay, still got to write, still got to deliver this, still got to do that, and then add driving and losing anywhere from 4 to 5 hours a day on some days where I can't. I'm on the road. There is nothing I can do but drive. And then just the everyday things. Was it
Changing
yesterday?
your diet to
Changing my
something
diet,
to something extreme that actually causes physical changes within your body that you
and
can
I'm
feel.
feeling it. I'm feeling it.
I'm
Like
feeling it
today,
too.
like I know it's allergies. My eyes are killing me. My eyes are burning, and I know it's allergies. But all I want to do today is sleep, you guys. I mean, I woke normally on any given day. I will wake up and I'll make myself. I've tried to make myself a big breakfast, a smaller lunch, and an even smaller dinner, and go through that process. With keto, it's like half the day I'm thinking I'm going to die because my arteries are going to get clogged, and and watching my sodium intake because I'm not getting any younger. Okay. So I'm like in heart attack range. But on top of it, it's like, okay, now I've cut out rice. I've cut out pasta. I've cut out potatoes. I mean, all of it, bread, nothing. It's like meat, cheese, and almonds. And I'm sitting here going, I'm not
Why
hungry, but I
you're
know
not
I need to.
doing the greens? You need greens.
Well, I
Lots
did
of
no,
rough green vegetables.
I do have spinach, so
Okay.
the baby spinach, and I have
You need to get
m-
you like some collard greens, some
maybe
mustard greens, some
some
turnip greens,
um, the smoothies have helped
broccoli.
just to have that little bit of sweet,
Right.
um, and that feeling of fruit, because I'm sitting here going, what do you mean no citrus? I'm gonna get scurvy, you know?
Take a multivitamin, Meredith.
Hate those. I hate them. And so there's that too. So there's like all of these things that are going on. And I'm like, meh. I mean, you're not seeing it on the outside. It's all in my back. And sitting here when I'm trying to, break my pencil in half with my thumbnails. You see that? I don't know if you
Ooh,
can see.
that one looks so
So
good.
I've been working on this,
Satisfying.
dig, 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 dig. You don't see that on the screen, but
And
it's something.
I'm really trying to not. I'm. I don't want to say I have a persona because I don't, because this is who I am, but I want to try to be calmer. on camera at least, and watch my face, because I swear to God, like I go back and it was like,
It's like, what was that facial expression about, right?
like,
It seemed like
and then I had
inappropriate or
somebody
something.
private message me, and I'm like, nobody had a gun to my head. I would promise I was there on my own free will. I can't help it that I'm like, like, even if I'm holding up an index card that says send help, that's a joke. Okay, I'm fine. I promise you, I know how to hit the fucking leave studio button. I'm okay, people. I'm okay. Nobody is in control of me. Well,
see, and that's the thing. Like even last night, there was a moment. There were a couple of moments where I was going to boot you out, like literally boot you out, and I was like, oh shit! If I do that
right now,
if I did that, you would be totally pissed at me.
Oh, I'd kill you.
Yeah, you know, so it's like,
well, not literally, but
yeah, but it's like one of those things where you would be like, "What the fuck, Meredith?" And then I would be like, "Well, you looked upset. That it wasn't up to me to hit the."
I'm an adult.
Exactly, it wasn't up to me to hit the exit button for you. You know,
and it was weird, okay? Because for some reason, it's okay for me to talk about sex to you, but to hear you talk about sex to me fucked my head up. Okay. Don't laugh. Don't laugh. It's true.
And I'm glad. I'm like, I want you to know all of those little aspects of me, all of the imperfections and stuff like that. Let me tell you, and Christian, if Christian is listening, he knows there's a tradition, and I don't know if it's like all encompassing Asian and things like that, but I've seen it in different cultures when you are introduced to a woman, and a lot of people think it's demeaning. Okay. For me, it's like, hey, this is what's wrong with me. All right. I'm this, and this. And if you can accept that, those truths about the ugly in me and still accept me, then we're going to be just fine. But if I come out as being like this perfect person and this and that, and then God forbid I screw up, it is the end all be all. It's the end of the world. No, I do not want that. That's why I have fart jokes. That's why I talk about poo. And I will talk about sex, and I will talk about my Aspie-isms, because those are the things like, okay, so I'm not perfect, but I'm like perfect for Pat. I'm perfect for you. And that's okay.
You were.
But take those imperfections. Yeah, I will talk about poop, and she's gonna mute me.
I won't mute you. Talk about your fucking shit, Meredith. I don't care. After last night, you can just talk about whatever. I don't even care anymore. I'm desensitized now.
You're desensitized now? Oh,
I
thank
am.
goodness. Thank goodness. But yeah, it's just one of those things where, for me personally, it is constantly a learning experience. I am constantly on a learning curve and always uncomfortable. Understand that. It might not show
because you're so calm.
It
freaks me out sometimes because I'm like, okay, something's wrong.
I wasn't always. And there was this one time I remember, I think I was a senior in high school, and I was driving my siblings to school, and we had this truck, and it was a Standard. All right. And so I'm like, okay, I see an opportunity to turn because the traffic was terrible. It's a small town and it was growing. So the infrastructure wasn't there to really accommodate for the traffic, right? So I'm there, and I saw a bus coming, and I saw traffic coming. It was coming from both directions, but I had this window, and I hit it, and it stalled, and I'm in the friggin' middle of the road, and you could see that slow motion again. You see the bus not slowing down, you see the cars not slowing down, and my brother and my two sisters, they're screaming, and I'm like, shut the fuck up.
I've done that before.
And then I drove, and it was fine. But it's like they're freaking out, and I'm just like laser focused. It's like, good. I'm like, don't distract me. But see that because everything is a distraction, I've had to learn to find that laser focus to get things done.
And I have that.
Yeah.
But sometimes that actually becomes a problem because there are other issues that need to be addressed, but I can't because I'm here. I'm right here, right now. But then I have days where it's just like, what the fuck am I supposed to be doing?
Right.
I'll go to
Yes.
start to wash the dishes, and the next thing you know, I filled the sink up with water, but now I'm running the vacuum cleaner. It's just, it's weird. And I hate fucking bringing up a topic that has this much to talk about and be like, okay, time's up now, we gotta go. But I just feel like I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I want people.
I think it's really important because it's not just your story, it's my story. And it's a lot of people who are tuning in, that's their story. And they're going, oh, maybe those tics, maybe the way I compartmentalize things, maybe the way I handle situations is like, I need to take a second look. And I mean, we really need to do every day, a little bit of self-evaluation and go, how could I have, especially if it's a bad situation, how could I have handled that better? I mean, and for me, the calm comes from like literally losing houses, losing all my shit, losing, like having a car repoed, having, like a divorce even. When my kids approached me and said, hey, mom, we love you, but we'd rather live with dad. All of those things, it's like, like this. And I'm like, at the end of the day, I survived it. I'm like, okay, how did I cope with that?
God, I hope if I just never mind. I'm not gonna say that out loud.
But I'm just saying, like all of those things, all of those experiences, and I'm like, at the end of the day, I'm like, all right, it didn't kill me. It hurt. Some of them hurt really, really bad.
Right.
But I survived them and I grew from it, and I was able to take those experiences, those feelings, and really think about them and go, okay, now I did that. I'm like, all right, the next thing isn't so bad. It's like, hey, if you've ever been evicted and didn't have a place to go, technically, you're homeless. I went through that. It was like a 3-week period of time where I was just like, I didn't have a place to go. I have a husband, a son, 2 dogs, and it's like, what are we going to do? And instead of being like, oh, poor me and stuff like that, it was just like, all right, what's the next step? What's going to get us into a place with a roof over our head? What's going to do that? So, I mean, for some people, that is the worst possible thing that could happen. It's like all of your worldly possessions, if it's in storage and you can't afford to pay it and it's gone, it's gone. It's like, you might as well have lit a fire to it. And it's like, well, that sucked. I mean, there are a few pieces that I really, truly miss. And I'm like, oh man, that really sucks. I don't want to ponder on it because then I will be in full blown depression. But it's like, I survived it. Okay, that's stuff. And it has helped me realize, okay, what's more important? And for me, it's finding joy, getting to the next step, saying yes to opportunities, and making sure that the people around me are okay. you know that's where my calm comes from, because everything else will go to hell, it'll blow up, it'll disappear, it doesn't, at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter, as long as you keep on breathing and you keep on moving and you're like, hey, I've got a goal somewhere. And it's kind of neat for me because I finally feel like I know what I want to be when I grow up, and I'm almost 50. All right. It took me this long. But I'm still learning. Every day is a learning curve.
Hey,
Hey,
I love you.
I love you too.
We gotta go. You gotta leave.
Yeah, I got to go pick up my husband. And we've been vlogging for almost a half an hour. So anyway, I hope you guys feel us, and understand that we're a little wacko. And I will say whatever comes to mind, and she's going to have those reactions. And sometimes it might be misinterpreted, but understand that we are being as real as we can be. And we appreciate you for tuning in and enjoying the ride, because this is supposed to be fun, but educational, and entertainment and
Whatever.
it's also the show about
Whatever.
nothing. So it is, MA, DLSV,
Right.
whatever. It
Whatever.
is.
It
It
is.
is. So on that note, you guys have a great day. Are we doing tomorrow? Or are we going to take Sunday off because it's Easter?
I mean, maybe. I don't know. I don't
Well,
know. Let's
all
see
right.
where
So
we're at after I get home.
yeah, so there's stuff that needs to be done. But if you want to know whether or not we go live tomorrow because it's Easter Sunday, make sure that you go over to our YouTube channel, RAGIN. You'll see
Like
our little guys. Hit the notifications bell, and you will
yes,
know
ma'am.
exactly when we go live. All right, we're out of here. Have a great weekend, guys.